Hey guys, Romie here, so please like, comment, subscribe. This is my review for Married to Medicine season, what is this, season 5? Yes, season 5, episode 7, Mama Drama. So the episode, it picks up where it left off in the previous episode. With Quad, she went and she gave, not her husband, but Dr. Simone a call because she was just like, look, my husband left me. I said, obviously there was dialogue prior to her saying that, but I said that's a great soundbite that we know Bravo was going to use. But anyway, Quad was just saying that she was trying to talk to him, really trying to get to the crux of all the issues that they have, and she's just over it. She's just over it. And Dr. Simone said, hold up, so does he say that he loves you? And she's like, yes, he says it, but he doesn't show it in the way that she needs. And then Quad deliberated further and said how for her, she just wants to be doted on. She wants someone, she wants to be the apple of her husband's eye. She just wants that type of extra affection and attention, not necessarily on the monetary tip, because she got that. She got that. At least now she has that. So that's something she's focused on. And Dr. Simone was just like, look, these dudes out here, they speak another language. So maybe if we just calm down for a moment and just see where, is there anywhere that maybe he's frustrated with you or certain things that you could have done to get the things that you wanted out of him? And Quad just said no. Unless they create a new science, a new terminology, a new app to figure that out. No, I've done everything I possibly could. And I'm thinking, then try again. If you want this marriage, then try again. Now, obviously, if he's asking you, what do you want, what you need, and you do it, and then he's still not hearing you, then that's a different story. But until we see that, we're just going off of maybe he's not fully aware. Anyway, which again, that's on both parties to a certain degree. Anyway, now we have next up, let's see, who are we going to go to next? Everyone's kind of spending time with kids, and it kind of is the whole theme of Mother's Day. So the first mom that we see, or actually before that, Dr. Heavenly, she invites her friend over, her religious, spiritual counselor. She invites her over, and she's there because Heavenly made a boo-boo. So Heavenly kind of talks about how she's had some growth, and then there's a couple of things that kind of retracted her from that. The first thing that happened, though, was she apologized to Mariah, and it's kind of an issue because, she says some bad things about the one's mother. So then, spiritual advisor is looking at her like, you really said, why would... How could... Heavenly. So then it was like, yeah, I know I need to apologize to her. And the spiritual advisor said, look, you're the type of person where when you get upset, you just go off the jugular and you just go for the jugular. And that's not right. Just because you're upset doesn't give you the right to go and, Hail Mary someone. And the other thing that Heavenly talked about was the fact that Simone took her to some voodoo shop, and the spiritual advisor said, oh, no, whoa. But then she said, yeah, I kind of yelled at her because I was really frustrated because she took me there, and then when she was trying to do something else, I kind of yelled, I kind of cursed, I kind of did that, and it was like, that's your crux. You go, no, that's your crutch. You go and you curse and yell whenever you're upset, and you have to find a new way to communicate. I feel like, how long has Heavenly been on the show, and how many times has this, lovely woman come on here to tell Heavenly the same thing over and over again? Yeah, that much. Anyway, Simone has her sister over, and she's really happy to see her, but now Simone puts it out there that she's been having issues with Cecil, and one of the things is that Cecil, and Simone's main issue is that people put stuff on her and not her husband. her sister said, you know what? Maybe the communication styles is just something that you're missing. She didn't say it like that. She wasn't just putting it all on Simone, but she was kind of putting it like, yeah, obviously he's doing something, but kind of what's going on with you as well. And Simone's just saying how at this point her husband, sometimes his delivery can be so mean, can be so cold. I just don't know. I just don't know because it's like a different person that everyone else sees, and then I get to see. I wish I could see more of that person everyone else sees again. And so then her sister asks a valid question: do you think he still loves you? Simone couldn't answer, and she couldn't answer. I'm sure it was more so based on the emotion of what her version of love and being loving and affectionate is, since she hasn't been getting that. She's just looking at it as, oh, maybe not. Maybe not. But she didn't say that. But she was like, I don't know. Anyway, Mariah, she goes because she's setting up this great Mother's Day event. And actually, the event was really nice. And it's all about starting over, new experiences, and bonding. And she invites everyone. She invites everyone. I mean, we see old faces. We see recent faces that are now old faces because they're not on the show anymore. I said, okay, that's cool. They're actual friends. Got it. So then she's preparing for the party. Now, Dr. Jackie, I said, look at Dr. Jackie. Dr. Jackie was dressed up for date night at TGI Fridays. Yes, sure she was. Yes, she was. And I said, you're looking good. She was like, and she met up with Dr. Simone's husband because Dr. Jackie is so slick. She wanted to go and do a twofer. And when I say do a twofer, I mean, I'm going to go see what's going on with my friend's relationship. I'm also going to go and see how I can help my own. So essentially their conversations go as followed. Oh, I know you are still in contact with so-and-so, as in Dr. Jackie's husband that she's separated from. And she said that, you know what, she respects that because they were actually friends. And so it would be weird, it would be fake for him to just stop talking to him because, oh, you did that to my friend and also my wife's friend, that was messed up. So then her standpoint was, you know what, I've been doing this whole thing of forgiveness and I actually want to speak to him because he's been taking accountability, completely taking the accountability. He hasn't been putting it on me for him cheating. So maybe if we talk, she said she's going to entertain the possibility of seeing if they could start over / get on a new page. But she said, I'm not making any promises, but one thing be very clear. This whole cheating, no, I take that seriously. So if that even thought process of you better go and leave me, because I'm not doing it next time, I might be in. No, that's not Dr. Jackie. Anyway, she also talked to Simone's husband about, so what's going on at home? Because Simone's been saying some stuff, and in your household, do you really say that you love her, that you love him, that you love, do those words just naturally come out? Because she was saying that's something that she never hears. And he was honest. He said, you know what? You're right. He actually grew up in the household. His mother and father, they never really communicated like that. Like, I love you. Their younger son, Michael, he's very affectionate. And Dr. Jack said, I delivered him. I took some part in that. But he's the one that says, I love you. He's the one that gets everyone in the house to say that. And I said, that's great, but that's a problem because it really should be. Something like that definitely should be coming from the parents. And I was surprised that, I'm like, Simone doesn't say that at least? But then we hear the backstory a little bit later. So he said, you know what? I'm going to take that not even into consideration. I'm going to take that to heart because I know that's important. And now we see Toya. She's in the car with Quad. Originally, she thought that they were going to have some meaningless conversation in her house. But Quad said, ha, I got a better idea. I got the Porsche. Come on, let's go. Yeah, let's go. Let's go. So Quad, she gets in the car. Toya is there, and this is when Toya finds out that Quad's been having issues with her husband. Not only has she been having issues, Quad was just saying, you know what, we're taking this car ride because I wanted to see new, I forgot what phrase she used. Property? Was it? I want to see new property, a new home, a new something of the sort that's, that's just for me. And I said, Quad, this doesn't make any sense. This doesn't make any sense. But then her husband started to call, and because Tori was like, wait a minute, because Tori got emotional. No, she didn't start to cry yet, but she was starting to feel that way. And then she saw that, wait, Quad, your husband's calling. Answer the phone. She's like, no, don't worry. I said, Quad, this is part of the problem. So then she answers. He's upset. She was just like, you know what, I'm going to be home late. She did let him know that Toya was in the car, or at least Toya put it out there. So he wasn't blindsided by that. So I'll say that. Now, Quad said, I can't cook. I'll be home late. He was like, oh, don't worry. I expect you to cook anyway. I said, okay. And clearly, Toya was caught off guard. And then Quad, she was like, oh, yeah, this is fine. He's just in all his tips. And one, I said, that's not what you do in front of someone else regarding your significant other. So then he felt played. She hangs up. And then Toya's even look at her like, why'd you hang up on him like that? Why didn't you two just, at least say we're going to talk about this later? You two actually just have the argument since it's already started. Wait, what's going on? Quad said, whenever he's in that movie, I want to talk to him like, look, don't be surprised if I block his number again, because when it comes to that arguing stuff, and I'm glad that Toya told her. Toya said, how are you going to work through anything if you're not going to have an argument? Sometimes you need that argument to have that breakthrough. I understand for Quad, maybe in her household or just in her past, seeing those relationships where people like argue, she didn't like that feeling of that energy. So I understand. I understand why she doesn't like that. But sometimes you just need a good, to get to the other side. And I think that's the problem. I think that maybe Quad needs to be open to having that just at least once with her husband. And if things don't change after that, then, because unfortunately maybe his communication style is, that's his way of actually really getting things out. Really important things. It's not right. But I'm just saying, sometimes you have to initially work with people with where they're at so that you can get them to where they need to be. So we're at this place. I said, this does not look like some rental property. Well, at least not for housing. I'm thinking, is Quad about to go and, show off some, she's going to be realtor now? Because I was just getting that vibe. I was looking at how she was dressed. No. We're at this Atlanta Automotive, motorsport place, and next thing we know, we see the Benz truck. I said, oh my god. Quad said, that's my new property. That's my new home. I said, you really? So here we are, so confused, and semantics with those words. Those words mean things. She knew what she was doing. See, she plays so many games sometimes. Toya's like, see, I knew things were, well, now I know that things are kind of bad, but not that bad. Next thing we know, the paperwork to get signed, of course, this has to get signed in front of Toya and in front of the cameras, just to show she can stunt. This is why I said, okay, we're playing too many games, because this is a game right now. Quad got herself, what was it, $178,000 Benz truck. And I was mad because it was a souped up version. It had the black chrome rims, it had the body moldings. Oh my god, it was beautiful. The red brake pads in the red. Oh my, that truck. Mind you, Toya said, well, that's a lot of money. Are you gonna talk to your husband about how much that is? Yeah. Quad said, why would I do that? I mean, when he brought his, whatever home, didn't speak to me. And so then Toya, again, actually brought up a good point. Said, well, how did you feel about that? Did you feel a certain way? She said, no, because he works hard, he deserves it. Why would I say anything about that? And I was just thinking, so you two pretty much operate as a, uh, it just almost feels like, as far as marital, marital, not even duties, but the parameters of a marriage, what do you do together aside from live together? Because that's what it almost sounds like. This sounds like two people who are cohabitating. That's all it kind of sounds like at this point. But anywho, Toya was there. She was all around the car. She was still in the car, rubbing the car. She almost jumped in the car before Quad got a chance to jump in. I said, Toya, come on. We must do better. We must do better, Toya. We must do better. But anyway, Quad said, look, I don't have time for all this mess. I'm going to do me. Got myself a birthday present. It's all good. I said, all right. So who's going to drive home your Porsche? Because, so does Toya get to drive that? Oh, like, I always think of the little things. Anyway, Damon Jr. So Dr. Heavenly's son, Damon Jr. is back from college for the weekend to go and at least do his laundry, get a couple of meals in, and duck out. So we get the 20 questions from Dr. Heavenly. Wait a minute, what's going on here? Where those clothes? I mean, where'd that belt? What's this whole outfit? Who got this for you? He was like, oh, you know, someone. I said, nope, we don't do that. The city of scammers? Nope. Any city could be really the city of scammers. Anyway, I said, no. I'm like, Lord Jesus, please let us not find out he's in there. But then we find out the credit card that he got from Dad, and I said, oh, what limit? What limit? Because I'm just looking at the stuff you're wearing. I know that caused a quick pregnancy because I have that. I have anyway. It's funny because Aurora was there getting her hair done, and Dr. Heavenly's just fully fixated on what's going on with this whole situation. Oh, so girlfriend, who you know, you're looking good. Who's taking care of you? Because no, it can't just be you. So he goes and bounces. Before he bounces, his mom says, for work, because I don't feel like you're really getting the concept of, you know, working for what you got. Why don't you go and intern? Because he's also in med school. I said, okay, he's in med school. So he's going to intern for his mom. He had that look of, okay, I'm on the spot. There's cameras everywhere. I don't know how I could really say no. I'm not doing anything at this very moment, so okay. But that's going to be interesting. That's one way to have her. She ain't slick. She just want to have her baby closer to her. Nothing wrong with that. Anyway, so Aurora's getting a new hairdo. There wasn't much going on there. Toya's mom's in town. So Toya's mom's in town, and she's really happy to see her. They do bring up Toya's father, and the mother was just like, you know what? God is so good. You know, God showed me what I shouldn't have. Showed me what I shouldn't have, what I shouldn't want, and made sure that that was the case. And apparently, we kind of go over the parallels between Toya's biological father and how I guess he kind of bounced. He wasn't the most responsible. He may have been loving, but he wasn't the most responsible. So he was fun and loving, but not necessarily responsible in the way that a kid needs when it comes to stability. Now, Toya's mom remarried, and Toya's stepfather was really responsible and made sure that, you know, to put her on the path of, you need this career, you need this, you need that. So the structure that she always needed. And originally, so I'm glad that Toya got both sides. And I'm glad that it's like 2020. She even acknowledged that she was a terror. Her mom had to put up with a lot. But, you know, they're on the other side. Distance makes the heart grow fonder, which is what happened, thankfully, in their case, instead of, you know, oh, it's not so bad being away, far away. So now it's time for Mariah's party. Everyone's getting ready. It's funny, Dr. Heavenly needs to stop asking her daughter these questions. It was like, so, let me tell you this. If someone's like, yo, mama, said something about me, would you be upset with them or feel a certain way or say something to them? And she was like, yeah, probably. Almost like duh. And it's like, you're my mom, so why wouldn't I say that in front of you anyway? That's really so silly. I'm looking at her like, are you really asking some of these questions sometimes? Because I can't believe it. But anyway, Mariah's peppering her mom. You know, what's her mother's name? Mother Judy? What is Mariah's mother's name again? Hold on, guys. Lucy. So yeah. So Miss Lucy, she's there. It's a white and yellow theme because it's just supposed to be bright and happy, and something weird happens. So Contessa comes, and I'm not saying in a bad way, I actually like Contessa. So Contessa comes with Miss Renee. Now, Miss Renee, from the moment she got there, started to get some drinks. So she started off, you know, getting in that nice spirit. She had that slight buzz as people were coming. She was like, hi, how are you? Everything was going well. Everything was going beautifully. But then she kept sipping. And that's when things started to take a turn. She got a little litty. She wasn't even lit. She was litty throughout the entire party. And it got to be much. But we do hear, you know, the backstory of how Contessa, she lost her mother to cancer, and that her mother actually had a really, she suffered through it. So it's just like a party like this, you know, means a lot, especially since she has Miss Renee there, who essentially has been somewhat of a mother figure, or that type of motherly stability, or whatever the relationship is. She's happy to have her, so great. That's all that matters. Now, Dr. Heavenly is there, and Dr. Heavenly, she's not on great terms with Simone, but they have to keep it cordial and cute. They say something like, oh, yeah, look at you. Because Heavenly looks very uncomfortable, like, oh, so already impatient? No, it's just, you know, these flats. But I mean, look at you with those two. I mean, I guess you'd understand, like, the pettiness that these two ladies have. But everyone finally gets there, and Miss Renee, she hugs everyone, and then she's like, guys, you want to hear something? You know, she can be mean sometimes, this is Contessa. So I call her the mean black Dr. Bit. I said, what? Everyone was just looking like, what? And then she said, you know what? Even though I get paid by her, it doesn't mean I allow her to just say whatever she wants to me. I refuse. And so everyone starts to laugh, but it wasn't like ha ha. It was kind of like a, okay, then we don't know what else to do here, so we're just gonna let them laugh. Dr. Heavenly loved every moment of it. But anyway, as we know, I told you the dress code was white and yellow. So you'll understand how I'm a little confused when Mariah comes out in this like blue with almost like flowers on it, and it was a little purple pinkish with some yellows, which is a little bit of everything. And so then people called her out on it, like, trying to be the center of attention as usual. Okay. Anyway, next thing we know, we see Miss Lucy come out, and Miss Lucy, she looked good. She had her crown on, and she was just letting Toy's mom know, you know what, you know, recently had the stroke, that's why I'm walking with a cane. Mom's still a ball. Wait a minute. Did I just see Lisa Nicole? Was that Lisa Nicole? Sorry guys, this is really important. Did I see Lisa Nicole? No. Okay. Yeah, it was weird. For one moment, I thought I saw Lisa Nicole. Yeah, so apparently my camera decided to go after having days off because of, you know, not having much to talk about. It decided to go and freeze up. So this is why, obviously, all this looks a little different. Now, the rest of the episode essentially comprised of the ladies, they went in, they had a good time. Renee, Miss Renee went and talked about how, oh my God,
Miss Lucy, what a beautiful chocolate woman. And then, aside from that, she was cursing, doing all this mess. Contessa talked about how, look, she's grown, and she's the type of person where, around my kids, she doesn't do that cursing. She is just so loving and attentive. And I respect her. I respect my elders. They're like, you can respect your elders and still let them know what's what. And she was just like, no. She's just letting loose. She's having a good time. That's all she's doing here. And I felt a little bad for Contessa because I'm like, dang, you can tell it's Renee. You can tell she's definitely a good person. She had too much to drink. So, like I said, she's beyond Liddy. And it's just unfair in that respect. But Mariah decided she wanted to go and have a trophy, an award ceremony, which she hosted. She set the rules and parameters for. And I said, oh, this is Mariah. This is Mariah. So she gave one to someone that I'm not familiar with. Another person to Toya for being a great, stay-at-home mom. Raising good kids. I said, okay, cool. And she also acknowledged the fact that with Toya, they've had their ups and downs. They even had the tussle. But at least Toya never said anything about her mother. I said, well, Miss Lucy was probably too busy swinging that purse on Toya for that to even happen. But anyway, Heavenly, she heard it. She felt a certain way, but she had to accept it. So now that they were outside, there were a couple of cool things that happened outside. Heavenly went and she talked to Miss Lucy, and she apologized. And Miss Lucy looked at her and said, you know what? Yeah, I hear what you're saying. I just don't have time for that right now. She didn't say it that way, but that's how Heavenly perceived it. And she did the adult thing. She had to accept that was the reality of their situation. And I said, oh, growth? Okay, cool. Next thing we know, Mariah, so there was that. Simone Dr. Jackie talked about how she was actually met with Dr. Simone's husband. They had a nice conversation. Simone said, yeah, it was that whole thing of, our son Michael, very loving, says, I love you, gives hugs. He's the best. Because we don't really do that. And we don't really do that in our household because she's like her husband doesn't really do that. And it's definitely something she would like to hear because she says it. But he's just like, okay. And we heard that was the actual case. So then she said things are getting better now in that aspect. So shout out to Dr. Jackie. Dr. Jackie's going to talk to her husband. Her husband that she separated from and see what they can do, if they can work it out or not. Next thing we know, we see this nice little ceremony of release the butterflies. And that was great, symbolizing, for the mothers that are gone and passed. But Mariah stepped on one. So there goes the life, love, and happiness. Please like, comment, subscribe. Come back next week.